When I was 27 years old, I left a very demanding job in management consulting for a job that was even more demanding, teaching. I went to teach 7th graders math in the New York City public schools. And like any teacher, I made quizzes and tests. I gave out homework assignment. When the work came back, I calculated grades. What struck me was that IQ was not the only difference between my best and my worst students. Some of my strongest performers did not have stratospheric IQ scores. Some of my smart kids weren't doing so well, and that got me thinking. The kind of thing you need to learn in 7th grade math, sure, they are hard. Ratio, decimal, the area of a parallelogram. But these concepts are not impossible, and I was firmly convinced that every one of my students could learn the material if they worked hard and long enough. After several more years of teaching, I came to the conclusion that what we need in education is a much better understanding of student and learning from the motivational perspective, from a psychological perspective. In education, the one thing we know how to measure best is IQ. But what if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily? So I left the classroom and I went to graduate school to become a psychologist. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy. We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee. We tried to predict which children would advance farthest in competition. We studied rookie teachers working in really tough neighborhoods, asking which teachers are still going to be here in teaching. Asking which teachers are still going to be here in teaching by the end of the school year. And of those, who will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students. We partner with private companies asking which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs and who's going to earn the most money. In all those very different contests, one characteristic emerged as a significantly more likely to graduate. And it wasn't social intelligence, wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years. In working really hard to make that future a reality. Grace is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. A few years ago, I started studying Greece in the Chicago public schools. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take Greece questionnaires, and then waited around more than a year to see who Greece graduated. Turns out that grade kids were significantly more likely to graduate, even when I matched them on every characteristic I could measure, things like family income, standardized achievement test scores, even how safe kids felt when they were at school. So it's not just the West Point or the National Spelling Bee that grade matters. It's also in school, especially kids at risk for dropping out.